Hello, good morning. If you can hear me, if you'll just say something like I can hear you or something in chat. There is a little bit of a delay between what I do and when it gets to you, but it's like 3 to 10 seconds, so it shouldn't be that bad. So if you have questions, hopefully I'll be able to see them and get back to them real quick. Yeah. No one's typing. Cool. Yay. It's transmitting. That makes me happy. So basically we're just going to hopefully have like a 20 to 25 minute lesson. Hopefully just get in, get some material, get out, and give y'all time to practice it. I'm not going to start till 9:07 because we can think about this time from 9 to 9:07, like the bell time class change maybe. And, you know, there might be some people who are struggling to wake up this early. Not that it's early, but you know. If y'all have anything y'all want to talk about before 9:07 when we start, we can do that. If not, we can just chill. Yeah. This is legit how I used to draw smiley faces. We're going to get rid of that before. What's up, Marianne? I'm not currently talking yet. I'm pausing. I'm just chilling until we get to 9:07. That way people can file in. Hopefully now you can hear me. As I was saying earlier, there's a little bit of delay between when I talk and when it gets transmitted to you. But yeah, hopefully that isn't too much of an issue. If y'all have questions, then we can go over them. Let's see. The green dot challenge, Marianne, is not going to be for a grade right now, but it is going to be like good practice for us whenever we come back. And so it's one of those things, like, if you can improve upon some skills that we weren't doing so hot in, we can be better when we come back to school. Good morning, Avery. Alright, it is 9:07, so hopefully everyone who's going to get here will get here. If not, they can watch the video back from the beginning or something like that. I hope so, Marianne. I missed y'all. I really hope we're coming back, because it's been a while and I'm bored. And y'all definitely make everything more entertaining. I don't really know what's happening for across the nation or across Georgia or anything like that, but yeah, I'm just taking it one day at a time, doing everything we can. You don't miss me, Marianne? Alright. But yeah, let's try to use this geometry as a nice little distraction. Avery, I'm guessing April 13th is your birthday. If so, happy really early birthday. Oh, or are you just saying that's the day we're scheduled to come back? Yeah. Alright, let's get into geometry. So, first thing I want to talk about is equations of lines. Okay? We like lines in this standard form. The standard form is how we are doing the easiest way to see what a line structure is, what the slope is, what the y-intercept is. Okay? So y is going to stay as a variable. X is also going to stay as a variable. Okay, so the little green things are a variable. Then we also have m. Okay, m here is going to be our slope. Okay, if you remember, slope is rise over run. Or rise is just how far up and down you're going. And then run is just how far right or left you're going. And we're going to get more than that in a second. But yeah. The other thing we have is this B. This B is the y-intercept. Let's see if I can spell intercept on the first try. Y-intercept. If you thought that my writing was bad before, ooh, we're in for a treat now. Alright, so the B is the y-intercept. This is where we cross the y-axis. It's whenever x is 0. If you think about it, if I plug in 0 in for this x value, then we're just going to have m times 0. M times 0 is just 0, so then we're just going to be left with y equals b. And so whenever x is 0, our y-intercept is b. Okay? You can also use this to graph lines, okay? So if someone will give me a slope and an intercept from chat real quick, just type in m equals some number. It can even be negative, it can even be a fraction. And then someone give me an intercept. I will graph real quick what you are saying and show you how we can do that. Alright, m equals 5. So we're going to have y equals 5x. And can I get a y-intercept from someone? So we're just plugging things into this equation, Marianne, and so that way we can show what it looks like to graph these equations. I think this might be a little bit of review. All right, and then we can have our B5. I mean B7. So y equals 5x plus 7. All right? There's the line that we're going to graph right now. Okay? So, first thing we want to do when graphing these lines is we're going to go in and we're going to look at the y-intercept. Okay? So we're going to find our y-intercept. This is 7 right here. Okay? Our y-intercept is just this 7. That's where the b is, right? So we're going to take this 7 and plot that point. So when x is 0, at the y-axis, y is 7. Okay? From here, we're going to look at our slope. Our slope is 5x. Okay? We know slope is rise over run. Okay? So slope is 5. So we can rewrite that 5 as 5 over 1. Right? 5 over 1. 5 divided by 1 is still just 5. Okay? So we're going to use that rise of 5, run of 1. So that means every time we go over 1, every time we go right 1, we're going to go up 5. So right 1, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's somewhere up there off the screen. Okay? We're also going to do that going backwards. We're also going to be doing that going backwards. Yeah, so it's flop. So the rise is the top because you're rising to the top. So whenever we go left 1, left is negative, right? So if I'm going negative 1, left 1, no, we're going left. If I'm going left 1, I have to make this a negative 5 on the top to get our 5 over 1 because the negatives cancel out. Okay, so if I run negative 1, boom, over to here, I'm going to drop or rise negative 5. So then I'm going to go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our next point. Then we're going to do the same thing again. Left 1, down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left 1, down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And then we can just connect our lines with a perfectly straight line, of course. Yeah. So that's the basics of drawing lines. Okay? Excuse me. What we're going to do now is we're going to try to go the other way. Okay? So instead of me giving you an equation for a line and you telling me the graph, we're going to go the other way, and I'm going to give you information about a line, and then you're going, oh, we're going to practice real quick. My bad. I forgot about the practice. So I want you all real quick, give y'all like a minute and a half. Feel free to ask questions while you're doing it. Try to sketch these graphs. If you don't have graph paper like I do, that's okay. Just do something like this and say, okay, well, I can mark out things, and it doesn't have to look perfect, and just do your best. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to check what you're doing, but I think having this practice will be beneficial. Give y'all a little bit of time to practice that. Let's say a minute and a half. Practicing. Yeah, I'm thinking hopefully more people will show up for the second showing at 10, Marianne. But, you know, everyone else who's not here, they can watch the video, or they're just missing out and not improving themselves, and that's on them. Give y'all about another minute to practice this. No, I'm doing the same lesson at 10. And so, hypothetically, if you slept in too much, maybe, or if you had another live stream at 1, we could do the same thing at 10, and you could get that then as well. Kind of like first and second period, except for because we're not physically in class, you can come whenever you want. Marianne, no! You gotta sleep. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta sleep. No, it's not fine. Are you gonna sleep today? Oh no, what have I done? Alright. We're gonna go over these real quick. Alright, so we're gonna graph our red equation first. First thing we see is our y-intercept is -2. So I'm gonna go down to -2. Boom. Alright. Then I see my slope was 2. So 2 is the same thing as 2 over 1. Right? So then I'm going to rise 2 and go over 1. So up 2 over 1. Boom. Up 2 over 1. Boom. Or I can go over 1 up 2. And we keep doing this all the way up. And we can also do that going all the way back down the other way. Down 2, left 1. Left 1, down 2. These are perfect dots. If you don't agree, then I don't know. You just don't appreciate modern art. Alright. There's our red line. We can sketch it. Once again, this is sketch, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Boom. I know I missed the line right here, but it is fixed. Awesome. That's our first one. Our second one, what we can do is we're going to have our green equation here. Okay. So, let me make that circle a little bit better so I don't actually destroy everything. Our y-intercept here is -3. So I'm going to go down and put my first point at x equals 0, -3, or 0, -3. Then from there, my slope is -1/3. Okay? So, here's where it gets fun. This is rise over run, right? Okay? So my rise is 1, and my run is 3. But it's negative. So if I go run of 3, 1, 2, 3 to the right, then I have to go -1. -1. 1, 2, 3 over, down 1. 1, 2, 3 over, down 1. Exactly, it goes down. Negatives are tricky, okay? Same thing, if I go -3, so if I have -3 in the bottom, I have to have a +1 on the left. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to the left, then up 1. 1, 2, 3 to the left, up 1. 1, 2, 3, up 1. Boom. There is our graph. And that's how it works. One thing I want to show y'all. Okay? If, hypothetically, you want to check yourself. Okay? We can use Desmos. Okay? So let's say you're doing this on your own and you don't have a way to check yourself, or you're on the milestone at the end of the year, or whenever you're taking some test and you have access to a computer, you have Desmos, okay? You will have Desmos on the milestone. What you can do, let's X out of here. Oh no, why isn't it Xing out? Let's keep my annotations. Just go to Google, okay? Put in Desmos. Just Google Desmos. Alright. We want to use this graphing calculator. Okay, so I'm going to go to the graphing calculator. And what's really cool about this, let's see if I can get this where it is visible for you. What's really cool about this is you can plug in the equation. So I can plug in y equals 2x minus 2. Boom. And it actually graphs it for me. Y'all see this? And so there's a way to check it. Avery, I'm not really sure about that. I'm just taking this day by day. We will know later. I don't know, Avery. I don't know. I can check on that for us though. But for now, we're just going through and making sure we have the skills to move on to Algebra 2 and everything like that. Well, the reason we're doing Desmos is because this is on the milestone. And so you will have this program, this graphing calculator on the milestone. So if they give you an equation, say like graph this equation, you can just plug it into your calculator and see what it works. We can also do multiple at once. So we can do y equals 1/3, then move over, x minus 3. Boom. Oh no, I forgot my negative. Negative 1/3. And lo and behold, that gives us our other graph as well. And we check, everything works out. We feel super smart because we got it all right, and that makes us happy. Sound good? Alright, I'll move on. Let's sprinkle a little more complication on top of this. Alright? So, now, instead of going from the equation to the graph, we want to go the other way. We want to go from the graph to the equation. Okay? So, first thing we got to do is we got to work backwards. So like whenever we're graphing, we did the y-intercept, then we found the slope. Then we graphed the slope. Now we're going to find the slope first, then find the y-intercept. Alright? So, slope is just rise over run. Okay? If you think about it, rise is just my y value, and run is just my x value. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the change in y. Alright? y2 minus y1. How much did y change? I'm going to divide that by the change in x. How much did x change? Okay? So for the blue line here, I'm going to take my first point right here. It can be any point that you know. My first point is 0, 1. Alright? So that's my y1 and x1. Then we just find another point. It doesn't matter what point you use. I'm going to use this one because it's close by and it looks good to me. My next point is 2, 2. Alright, so I'm going to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So my y2 is this 2 right here, minus my y1, the y coordinate of my first point is 1, boom, divided by x2, my x coordinate of my second point is still 2, and my x coordinate of my first point is 0, 2 minus 1, over 2 minus 0 equals 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. Over 2. So there's my slope. 1/2. I just did y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Alright. I want you to try to do the red one on your own. Okay? See if you can do the red slope on your own. Feel free to ask questions about it. Feel free to be like, is this it? What point should I use? Blah, 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 blah. If in doubt, let's see if I can mark some points for y'all. There actually aren't very many points for the red line. This is definitely a point right here. And I think our only other point is all the way down here, which makes it fun. So I'm going to give y'all about 30 seconds to find the slope of the red line, and then I'm going to go over it, and then we're going to move on, and then we're going to feel super happy because we're getting it. Alright, so first thing we got to do is we can find our points. So, our first point is 0, 7. Our x is 0, our y is 7. Our second point is 9, 0. I know I write my 9's weird. We've been over this. Alright, so y2 minus y1 over x2 over x1. So my y2, my second y value is 0. My second x value, my first x value, pause, reconvene. Second y value is 0. My first y value, my y value of my first coordinate is 7. Boom. Over my second x value is 9. You have to make sure if you use this point as your second point, you got to make it sure it's your second point the whole time. And we get 0 minus 7 is negative 7 over 9. Golly gee, we got it. 7 over negative 9 equals negative 7 over 9. Those are the same. So those all work. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. And we're going to move on. So once we have the slope, what we have to do is we have to find the rest of the equation. So we have our slope. We have m right here, right? Now what we want to do is we want to find b. Okay? We have m. We got to find b. Okay? To find b, we have to plug in y and x. Okay? So for our blue line here, what do we say our slope was? Our slope is 1/2. So we're going to say y equals 1/2 x plus b. Okay? Then we're going to plug in a point for our x and our y. Okay? So we can just use this point right here. 2, 2. Alright? You can use any point. So 2, 2, plugging in 2, 2. The y value is 2. Equals 1/2. The x value here is also 2. Plus b. Okay? When we do this, I'm coming up here. 1/2 times 2 is just 1. So 2 equals 1 plus b. Subtract 1 from both sides, you get b equals 1. Yeah? So, does that make sense that our y-intercept is 1? Does that make sense that we cross the line at y equals 1? I think it does, because that's what it looks like. So our final answer, okay, this is actually not our final answer. Sorry, I boxed it. I shouldn't have. Our final answer is going to be y. We want to leave it in this y equals slope x plus b. So our slope is 1/2 x plus 1. And that's it. Alright, what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to try the red line on your own. Reminder that our red line slope from before was negative 7 over 9. So negative 7 over 9. And try to find the equation of the red line on your own. Yes, Avery. So to find b, solve for b, we're going to take any x value, any y value on the graph. Well, that's on the line. Anywhere on the line. Okay? And we're going to plug in the x and y value. Okay? So instead of using 2, 2 for this last one, I could have used 4, 3. I could have used 6, 4. Technically, I could have used 7 and 4.5, but that makes it difficult trying to get weird decimal place. So I try to look for an intersection. Okay? So that we don't have to guess what it is. That way I know what it is. And any point, you can take that point and plug in, and that'll then solve for b, and that'll get your b value. Alright, going over this one real quick for the red one. Alright, our slope is negative 7 over 9. So we're going to say y equals negative 7 over 9. I'm sorry the handwriting's so bad. You know I'm trying. X plus b. We're going to plug in an x and a y. Okay, so I'm just going to use this x and y right here, 0, 7. So y excuse me, 0. Nope, 7, excuse me. 0, 7. So 7 equals negative 7 over 9 times 0 plus b. So when we do that, it's negative 7 over 9 times 0 is 0, and then we get b equals 7. And that makes sense because our y-intercept, it looks like our y-intercept is 7. So then we plug that in. Y equals negative 7 over 9 x plus 7. And that's our final answer. Today went a little slower than I went to. I'm going to try to wrap up here as quickly as I can because I don't want to take too much of y'all's time. But yeah, just stick with me for a little bit longer, and we're going to hopefully be wrapping this up. I got like 2 more things to show y'all. It's the same thing, but yeah. So that's how you do it. You take your 2 points to find your slope, right? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Then once you have your slope, you plug in an x and y to find b. We can also do this. This is practice that I was going to give y'all. Let's go and skip this because we did practice in the last one. Sorry. Let's do number 2 together, actually. So this is the last thing to do, is how to do it whenever you don't have a graph. Okay? So if we wanted to find the equation of this line, the line that goes through 1, 3 and 2, negative 2, what we would do is we'd go in and we'd first find our slope, just like normal. We go back here. We know our slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we're going to go through and find our slope. So this can be our second coordinate. This can be our first one. Okay. So my y2 is negative 2. Let me write out the equation real quick. Alright, y2 is negative 2 minus my y1, sorry, y2 minus y1. My y1 is 3 over my x2 is 2. My y2 is 1. Cool. My x1 is 1, excuse me. So I just plugged everything. Negative 2, negative 2. 3, 3. 2, 2. 1, 1. When we do that, negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. Over 2 minus 1 is 1. So my slope is negative 5. From here, we're going to do the exact same thing we did before. And we're going to plug in our y equals negative 5x plus b. Plug in a y and an x value. Okay. So y equal, I'm plugging a y. I'm sorry. I always do that. So my y value can be, you can use either one, so let's use the 3. So 3 equals negative 5. So if I use the 3 here, I have to use the 1 here, times 1 plus b. So we get 3 equals negative 5 plus b. Okay, add 5 to both sides, and we get b equals 8. That's a beautiful 8. So we're just doing the exact same thing we did before. Find the slope, plug in, solve for b, except for now we don't have a visual aid. And then we go through and write it out of the equation as normal. So y equals negative 5x plus 8. And there's our final answer. What are your questions about that? Hopefully that sort of makes sense. Oh, one thing you can do is once you have this, where'd my mouse go? Okay, cool. Once you have this, you can go in and plug in this into Desmos to see if it works out. So we want a line that goes through 1, 3, and 2, negative 2. Okay? So let's keep our annotations. Okay? If we go over to Desmos, let's see if this line y equals negative 5x plus 8 looks what we think it is. Y equals negative 5x plus 8. So should be an equal sign there. All right. Does it go through? Forgot my negative, of course. Does it go through 1, 3? Yes, it does, right here. And does it go through 2, negative 2? 2, negative 2? Yes, it does. And so that's a way we can check ourselves on these, is we can just plug it into Desmos. Yeah. All right. If you are done and you feel good about this, you're good. You're good to go. Hopefully things make sense. I have the worksheet posted. It's 12 problems. It starts simple and builds from there. There are a few problems that, although I think with our information you can do, they don't look exactly like what we just did. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through and show how to do one of each type of problem that's on the worksheet. Before you go, if you'll fill out the survey, just go to bit.ly/325. That's the date. Geometry. It's just like a little tennis thing. You can put in things I can improve upon. You can put in things like just let me know that you're here. Let me know that I know that you're trying. And that, like I said, that's the most important thing right now. That we're trying. We're doing our best. Yeah. So I'm going to give you all a little bit to, like, maybe 2 minutes to take a break and or ask questions, and in about 2 minutes we're going to come back and we are going to go over one type of problem, one type of each problem that we are doing, that we're going to have for the worksheet that I have. The worksheet is going to be due tomorrow because we're going to build on it tomorrow. So yeah. So we can just chill for a second. Y'all gonna ask questions, then we're gonna go on and try some stuff. Alright, so the first type of problem that we're going to have is just straight up simply, it gives you the slope and it gives you the y-intercept. Okay, so what you're going to have to do here is you're going to have to rewrite this in our form y equals mx plus b. Okay, y equals mx plus b. We're going to sub in our m, which we know is 3. That's our slope, m is slope, and our y-intercept. So then we're just going to rewrite it as y equals 3x minus 1. And then that's the answer. That's it. Okay? That's the first, most simple type of problem. It's just straight up, this is what it is. Plug it in, plug in M, plug in B, we're done. Okay? Second type of problem we might get, by might I mean we're going to get on this worksheet. Okay? Is it gives you the slope, but it doesn't give you the y-intercept. So it gives you the slope, but it doesn't give you the y-intercept. It gives you a point that it's through. Well, we know from before that if we have the slope and we have a point, we can plug in the point to find our b. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to say y equals mx plus b. We're going to plug in y. We're going to plug everything in except for a b. So I'm not going to write a y here. I'm going to do it every time. So my y value is 1. My slope is 0. My x value is 4 plus b. So 0 times 4 is 4. I mean 0 times 4 is 0. So we have b equals 1. And then we write our equation in there at the end. So then our final equation is going to be y equals, our m is 0, 0x plus 1. And we know the 0x cancels out, so we can even write it as y equals 1. And then there's our answer. That's it. Okay? Moving on. The other type of problem we're going to get, the other two type of problems we're going to get, is we're going to get a graph. Alright? For our graphs, the key is to find the slope using y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Find the slope. So here's a point right here. Here's a point right here. So this point is negative 3, 4. The other point is 0, negative 3. Okay. There is our points, and we're just going to plug that in. So y2 is negative 3 minus y1 is 4 over x2 is 0 minus x1 is negative 3. When we do that, we get negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7 over 0 minus negative 3 is going to be positive 3. So our slope, let me erase those weird lines, I'm sorry. It takes some getting used to not being able to count right with my hand. So our slope is negative 7 over 3. So we're going to do the same thing as we did before. We're going to plug in a point. So we're going to say, let's use this point up here. We're going to have y is 4 equals negative 7 over 3 times our x is negative 3 plus b. Negative 7 over 3 times negative 3. The 3's cancel out, so then we have negative 7 times negative 1, and so that just becomes positive 7. So 4 equals 7 plus b. Subtract 7 from both sides, and we get b equals negative 3. And that makes sense, because, you know, that's where our y-intercept is. So we can do y equals negative 7 over 3 is our slope, x minus 3. And that is the other type of problem, the third type of problem we might get. The final type of problem we might get is when it just gives us 2 points. Okay? And it's like the one we did at the very end. This one is just straight up same thing as we just did, except for we don't have a graph to help us. So we do y2 minus y1. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 is 3, y1 is negative 2, so parentheses there, over x2 is 2, x1 is 3. We do that, we get 5 over negative 1, which equals negative 5. Plug in y equals mx plus b. Solve for b. So y value is 3. Our slope is negative 5. Our x value is 2 plus b. 3 equals negative 10. Just solving. Negative 5 times 2 plus b. Add 10 to both sides. B equals 13. And then just plug that b back into our y equals mx plus b equation. So our final answer is going to be y equals negative 5 x plus 13. Alright. I know I was kind of just running through those real quick. Which one of those past 4 that we just did would you like to ask a question about. Okay? It is just sort of like a pattern. Finding M, finding B. But let me know. Like right now, I can explain any of these in more depth. You can let me know which ones you have questions on. If you want to, you can try the assignment that I posted from now until like 10:30, and then at 10:30 hop onto the live stream, and then ask questions about it at the end of the 10 o'clock live stream. That could be a cool thing to do potentially. Or if you know you have questions now, you can ask them. Yeah. So I'm just chilling right now until 10 o'clock, and at 10 o'clock I'm going to start over with this whole thing. And so if you have any questions before that, yeah, I know it's quick. I'm trying not to use so much of y'all's time. I'm trying to give y'all an opportunity to like get on, get some material, go practice, and not sit here. Like it would be really boring to sit here for a normal class period. And this honestly was a little longer than I wanted it to be. I'm shooting for like 25 to 30 minutes max of lessons. And then the rest of the time is y'all just take off, do your work, ask questions, ask practice. Ask for practice. Shoot, I just lost my pen. If you don't have any immediate questions, if you want to go and practice a little bit, but if you want to go practice a little bit, or if you want to do something like that, I may just let y'all practice and y'all can come back at 10:30 and ask questions if you don't have any questions right now. Yeah. And that we're just chilling. Chilling. Don't forget to fill out the survey. Don't forget to fill out the survey that is right here. That way I know you're here, I know you're trying, I know you're working hard, and that's what I want. Shout out to Avery and Fabian who have already filled it out. Alright, it doesn't look like there's any questions, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream and log out, take a quick break for myself so I can get back in at 10, and we're going to do it all over again. I wish y'all could see me in person because I definitely just hit the whoa. I think you would have appreciated that. Alright, see y'all at 10:30 if y'all have any questions. Adios. Bye.